Greetings to you lovely students. I welcome you to today's class. Today's class I'll be taking the topic, the introductory part of crop pests, and in the course of this topic I'll be explaining definition of crop pests. I'll also be explaining different types of crop pests based on their type, mouth parts, and where they are found. So quickly, let's look at the topic outline. The first one is definition of crop pest. Of course, if you are to explain or introduce crop pests to you, I have to define what crop pests are, then types of crop pests, also classification of crop pests, and other outlines. Now, definition of crop pest. Crop pests can be defined as any living organism that cause damage or destroy crops, either on the farm or in the field. Because crop pests, they cause reduction in the yield of farmers, so it is very essential that farmers know the definition, and also farmers should know more about these crop pests so as to be able to know how to control them. Now, types of crop pests based on their phylum and class: we have the insects, we have the birds, we have mollusks, we have large mammalian herbivores. There's also primates and also rodents. All these cause or destroy crops on the farm. Now, a typical example of crop pests that are insects that most people don't know is caterpillar, and also we have birds. Examples of birds that are pests: we have the sparrow and all others. Now, classification of crop pests based on type of skeleton. First is the exoskeletal crop pest and the endoskeletal crop pest. Now, exoskeleton, as the name implies, it means outside. A skeleton that is that covers an animal on the outside is different from endoskeleton, which is the skeletal structure that is found inside an animal. So as it is written here, exoskeleton is also made up of chitin, and chitin is a constituent of the exoskeleton of most arthropods. Insect is an example of arthropod. Then we also have the endoskeleton, which is made up of bones. Now, classification of crop pests based on places found: we have the storage crop pest and the field crop pest. Storage crop pest examples are the mice, or you can say rats. We also have some insects such as weevils that are storage crop pests. What they do is that they attack or destroy crops that are in the store. A typical example of crops that is destroyed is cowpea that is stored. We also have we have weevils that attack maize in the store. We have weevils that attack rice in the store. So we have maize weevils, we have bean weevils. There is rats that affect or destroy crop products in the store. Now, the next one is field crop pest. Now, field crop, as the name implies, they are pests or living organisms that affect crops while the crop is still on the field. So they rarely have much effect when the crop product is in the store. A typical example of field crop pest is the gorillas. We have most insect crop pests like the caterpillar, the armyworms. We have the termites, crickets. They are all examples of field crop pests. And it will amaze you to know that elephants are also crop pests, but those are large mammalian herbivores. Now, we have types of insect crop pests based on mouth parts. There are three different types of insect crop pests based on their mouth parts. The first one is biting and chewing insect crop pest. The second is piercing and sucking insect crop pest, and of course the last one is the boring or burrowing insect crop pest. Now, the three different types of crop pests have different mouth parts, and as we continue in this lesson, I will be explaining to you how their mouth part is. Now, the first one, biting and chewing insect crop pests, mostly their mouth part is characterized by mandibles and maxillae. Now, the mandible is more like a part of their mouth that is used for cutting and chewing of leaves and also stems of crops. Now, biting and chewing insect pests can also attack the roots of crops. For example, the roots of oil palm. Now, the maxillae is more like the tongue in humans. After chewing and biting with the mandibles, they need to push into their gut the food that they have chewed, and this is mostly made possible by the maxillae. So they have two hard biting jaws, which is the mandibles, and two other jaws, which is the maxillae. Now the next one is the piercing and sucking insect pests. Now the piercing and sucking insect pests, they are characterized by a mouth part known as proboscis. Now the proboscis is usually used to suck out plant fluids from the stems of plants. Now these regular sucking usually lead to weakening of plant stem. The sucking also causes transmission of disease from an infected plant to an healthy plant. Okay, examples of piercing and sucking insect pests are the plant lice and also the cotton stainer. Now the next one is the burrowing or boring insect pests. Now the burrowing insect pests, what they do most times is to eat up the juicy centers of stems. They can also burrow into the cotyledons of stored seeds. Now there are two major types of burrowing or boring insect pests. Two major examples. We have the stem borers and we have the weevils. It could be maize weevil, rice weevil, sorghum weevil, and cowpea weevil. Then the stem borers could be maize stem borers, could be sorghum stem borers. Now most times what they do is to destroy the juicy centers of stems. Now I hope in the course of this class you have been able to learn a lot about crop pests and the kind of damage they do to crop paths. Don't forget I said that examples of some crop pests, we have snails, is also an example of crop pests. We have slugs and snails belong to the class mollusca. Now I hope to see you in my next class. Do have a wonderful time. Bye.